Okay, so let's talk about social media. When I first made these slides were designed for a thing that we did with all the top producers in the county. We invited top producers literally for the purpose of recruiting them to the new brokerage we were starting. And also to manage the shift. So it was called the shift. It was a shift class. And to get through the recession. So a lot of this is kind of a little bit sporadic rather than the usual ignite, but they asked me to just use these slides. And so just bear with me. But the 80-20 rule, you guys know what the 80-20 rule is? Okay, tell me what the 80-20 rule is.
20% of your effort is 80% of your.
Yes, that is an 80-20 rule. But I'm thinking a different one. I'm talking about social media specific. What is the 80-20 rule with social media? Anyone know? Yes.
Isn't it only 20% of your posts should be about real estate?
Yes. What's the exception to that? Does anybody know? The exception is your business account. If you, who here has a business account?
I
Okay.
have a question.
Yes, go.
So I have a business account and I also have my personal.
Yep.
I've debated deleting my business one.
Okay.
Because I've noticed I get more natural interactions on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And my personal, I think I do a lot better networking on.
Yep.
But then my business one is just like, I don't know. It's kind of nice sometimes to have this one though, because then I can.
Yeah, you have to have a business account if you want to run ads. So you should all have a business account.
Okay.
Even if you do nothing with it, like you should have a business account. I have a business account because it's the Peter Morkel Real Estate Group, and that's literally like I just use that one. But if it was just me, I would have one, and then no one would know about it.
Sorry.
Keep going. Yeah. No, shoot
my name's
questions.
James, by the way.
Hi, James.
So with interactions, how often would you post on each one? Because I feel like I post just on my business account. And then my personal one, I'll post like every 6 months.
For a business account, I would say, every 6 months.
On my personal.
Wait, you post on your personal every 6 months?
Every 6 months on this one. This one's every day, every week.
Your business is every day, every week?
Yeah.
You should switch that.
Really?
Yeah, your personal is the one that you should be keeping updated because that's the one, I'm assuming that the majority of your friends, the majority of your people are connected to you on your personal one, right?
See, but I don't know what to post. I'm like.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that.
Okay,
But that's the answer to your question is that you've got this mixed up. I would say as a minimum, like every other week for your business. But on your personal, I would say as a minimum, like 3 times a week-ish. Does that seem fair? Okay, yes, question in the back? What's-
Instagram,
What's your name?
I'm Sadie.
Sadie, nice to meet you.
Instagram is something where you can turn your personal account into a business account.
Uh-huh,
Do
yep.
you think that's a good idea?
You know, I don't know.
Okay, because I've told about it too. I have mine set up like that and I can see like how many people view it.
I've been in lots of classes of people who know more than me about Instagram. Instagram's a different animal than Facebook. I'm more familiar with Facebook.
Very different.
Yes, yes. I'm reasonably familiar with Instagram, but what I understand is that there's 2 of them, right? You can do business or you can do like an influencer kind of, I can't remember what it's called. What's the official
It's just a business.
content creator, right? I think there's 2 that you can choose, whether it's business or content creator, and you can have just a regular account. I think content is actually a better option when it comes to real estate agent from classes that I've been in the past, just because then it's like that's kind of what you do as a real estate agent is you're trying to put content out there rather than like run a business. Yeah, exactly. Like you are selling a product because you are the product, but you're also mostly selling yourself.
You're not linking each post to like
So yeah,
a shirt or something.
yeah, exactly,
Okay.
right? Like it's a little bit less like linky. Anyway, any other questions before we move forward? I'm sure you have lots of questions. This is just slide 1. So 80-20 rule is 80% of your posts on your personal page is personal, right? We'll talk about, in fact, I'll go there later, but I'll show you a slide that has all these ideas of personal things or types of posts that you can do. But 80% is personal, 20% is business. Yeah. Why? Why do we do that? Yes. More. Tell me more. You tell me more. You're marketing yourself. Tell me your name. Alex. Hi, Alex. I'm Josh.
You're marketing yourself. People get to know you and it builds trust with your customers.
Mm.
You feel like
Yep.
they know you personally.
Yep. Yep. What else?
I think the biggest reason for social media is it keeps you in front of your SOI.
Hmm.
And it's natural because it's not like you're personally texting them, calling them, it's like,
Mhm.
when you're there.
Yep,
And they can see, oh, so-and-so's doing business, they're doing real estate,
yep,
but they're also having a great life, so.
yeah. Yep. Yeah, people want to know you more than your business, but also like you don't make any money unless they know what you do. And that's pretty much the summary, right? And so the purpose of the 20% is to remind people what you do. That's pretty much it. It's not like, oh, hey, if you ever want to buy or sell, don't forget about me. It's like, oh man, I was in this crazy open house and you won't believe the color of the toilet that was in this thing, you know, or like, well, whatever it is, right? Like you're just reminding people what you do. That's the purpose of 20%. Okay. Okay, use videos and images. Oh, this is such a random thing, but
You
with,
need to recast.
I need to read. It says. All right, I'll just stop the share and then redo it.
There you go.
We get it? Okay. Oh, whoops, I went too far. No. Okay, videos and images. So this is such a random thing and probably half of you know this because you're younger and cooler than me. But if you're filming a video, your default is one-time zoom. You should zoom out to 0.5 zoom when you're filming a video of like walkthroughs or anything like that. This allows you to get way better imagery of what's going on in the room. I mean, like, well, you guys can't see because me facing this way doesn't really make that big of a difference, but it's the difference between that and that. It just allows you to see more. When you're walking through a house, it makes a huge difference. So I just like to put that out there because 0.1 zoom is like the worst. All right, stories versus posts versus reels. Let's talk about this and then 5 by 5 by 5. No, we'll do that both of those. Okay. So just to make sure everybody's familiar with how social media works, tell me the difference between posts and stories and reels. Let's talk about posts, reel, and story. Let's talk about how long does each last? How long does a post last? Post is always, right? What about a reel?
They're always visible.
Yes. Yep. Stories are 24 hours. Good. 24 hours. Okay, what's the difference between each of them?
I feel like more people see stories than posting reels.
Yep, first thing they see. Yep. Reels. What's a big pro of reels
Advertising.
in comparison to these two? Tell me more about that.
Reels, you can actually, if you post enough reels at once, you can actually get messages from Instagram where you can make like it starts at $10 once you hit 10 views on reels. And then once you start posting consistently on reels, it'll actually the algorithm starts pushing it out to explore pages. So when people start scrolling, what do you call the equivalent of like TikTok and Instagram, where they're like scrolling through. those
Yeah.
are reels.
Yep. Yeah, you should be teaching this class. You want me to just come on up? I didn't know like 3 of those things, so that's funny. But yes, but reels. So you're right. Reels eventually end up on the explore page. I didn't know the number of how many you needed. But also for me, the big difference between each of these is that reels can get in front of anybody. Right? Anybody can see reels. This is a great way to build more followers, right? So let's just talk about who sees these. So anyone can see a reel, and then these are just friends and family. Or it can be public, but usually it's just friends and family anyway. Same thing with story. Yeah, I mean, like yeah, exactly. But the majority, probably 80% of the time, it would just be your friends and family that see it, right? Okay. How often should you post these? Would you say is best practice? Let's start with stories.
Weekly.
A weekly story, a daily story.
3 times a week.
I have a rule of thumb. This is my personal rule of thumb. You guys can agree or disagree. I hate this pen. It's dying. Is this one? That's okay. The rule of thumb is always have a story. Always up. There's always a story up. So that means you can, because the story lasts for 24 hours, right? So you post a story and then let's say 4 hours later, something happens, you post another story and that one will last 24 hours. So now you've got 28 hours of stories. Does that make sense? And you just keep it up. You just constantly refill your story. So you always have a story up. In my mind, that's one of the better ways to do it. As a minimum, you should always have a story up. Yes.
My name's Eli.
Hi, Eli.
Something I've been having a really hard time with is the consistency part.
Okay.
And I don't know, I feel like a 90-year-old man sometimes.
Yeah.
I like can't, it's hard to post that often and consistently. And is there anything you did to get more comfortable and just make it more of a habit? 'Cause that's something I struggle with.
Yeah, it's a great question. I'm super biased because this has always been easy for me.
Okay.
I'm a very like public person. Like, let me just tell you about my life. Here's my kid. My oldest name is Lila. Oh, she's super cute. This is what she's good at, and I'll just tell you everything. But my boss is more like you, Peter is. And honestly, for him, the biggest thing was to just do it. Like you just have to wake up in the morning. So there's two things. First of all, take more pictures and video of what you're doing every single day. Like you should leave this room with a picture of you in this room taking a class. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Everything you're doing throughout the day, like walking into the office, like, hey, I'm walking in the office, check it out. Have you seen my new office? It's pretty sweet. Like how many people in your life have seen how cool our office is, right? Look at this wall behind you. There's an onward wall. What does onward mean? What's the significance of onward in Keller Williams culture, right? Like you got to think about your life as being like a public figure and you're just telling about everything that's happening in your life. So take more pictures because that will be the easiest thing. You just find a picture, most recent picture on your phone. And you're like, oh yeah, this happened. And that's kind of interesting. I'll throw that up on there. But like, it just comes with doing it. It's going to suck for the first like month and you're going to be really bad at it. But the more you do it, the better you'll get at it.
Okay. That
would be my suggestion there. Reels. Oh, let's talk about posts. Posts in my mind, and this is like the world, this is doctrine according to Josh. Okay. So it's something great to salt. Like every single social media influencer or person that teaches social media will have a different opinion on what best practice is, the time of day you should post, the amount that you should post, right? So like you're going to be in a billion social media classes and everybody's going to have a different opinion. This is mine. For posts, I think you should post like 3 times a week as a minimum. These are all minimum numbers. And then for reels, like, I don't know. I don't really do reels personally. In my opinion, I feel like reels are if you want to like a different realm. Like you can dive into realms. I mean reels.
A great place for real is people moving out of California.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you want to like target people, like if you're targeting people that are not your SOI, reels are your best bet. Right.
Well, I think if you're posting reels, you might as well post on TikTok too, because they're basically the same thing. So you just
Yeah.
one video and you post on.
And you post on both. Yeah, and also reels can go in your story, right? And so, I mean, not your story, actually your story, wait, you on both, right?
Well, I think you can put like
You can go on your posts for
especially
sure.
a video.
Yeah, you can just make it your post. Yeah, Sandra, go.
Just one thing, I don't use TikTok, but be careful if you do, because if you use your TikTok videos on your Instagram, they will not source it the same. Like if Instagram detects it, it's a TikTok video. So,
Yeah, so go Instagram to TikTok rather than TikTok to Instagram.
yeah, vice versa. I don't know. I just know that that's the thing.
So you just have to make sure before you post your video that you actually, there's a separate app you can download to remove the watermark.
Yeah,
So before you then post on TikTok, that watermark is what triggers Instagram's algorithm, that's why they don't like it.
yeah. Yeah, so in my mind, like this is where you start getting into deeper waters, right? When it comes to social media. If you want to stay in the shallow water, these are your 2 minimums. Always have a story up, post 3 times a week. That seem fair?
Yeah.
Seems simple enough. Also, when it comes to reels, like if you put a story up, I mean a post up, and it's a cool video, like something sporty or some cool thing that you did, like just throw it on Reels, like why not? Just throw it up on Reels, get 7,000 people to like it, then the next time you post 700,000, just kidding. Yeah. Let's see, we did minimums. Oh, daily, weekly, oh yeah, these are what the minimums are. Daily here, and then weeklies, 3 times a week, Reels once a week, I don't know. Like usually I say once a week for Reels, but anyway, yes.
Something I've been noticing with Reel is content creators will actually copy each other.
Yeah,
And it's not like they're, like they make it their own, or they do kind of their own spin of it.
yeah,
And even if they reference the other person, that's totally fine.
yeah.
So if you see something you really like,
Like people do reacting videos even.
yeah, you don't
Like
have to
other
do,
people's videos.
yeah, you don't have to do anything special. It's just like, just recreate it, redo your own thing, or like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and some of you, like, this is gonna be, like, this is a whole, I really think this is like a different animal. Like that there's so many things you can go, different places you can go when it comes to Reels, but if you wanna keep it simple, which is, I'm trying to keep this class simple, stories and posts. That's your focus, okay? Any questions? Feel good? Okay. 5 by 5 by 5. Oh, this is a thing that people talk about that I'll just tell you. So a 5 by 5 by 5 is five DMs, 5 posts, and 5, what was it? Oh, 5 friends. No, maybe. Man, it's funny. I should remember what this is. This one friends wrong? It's EI or IE? Yeah, okay.
That's right.
Okay. So 5 DMs, this is like a good daily thing to do. I'm gonna show you what our team has, but this is like a thing that you might hear of again, the 5 by 5 by 5. But it's basically 5 DMs, 5 posts, 5 friends. You do this every day. I mean, 5 posts means like include stories or whatever you want it to be, but like this is an example of like a structure you could have. But what are the best things about DMs? What's an easy way to DM someone?
Send them something.
Kind of.
Up their posts.
Kind of, yes, more specific than a post. A story. How do you reply to a story? In a DM. It automatically DMs people. So a super easy way to DM people and start having personalized conversations with them is to just comment on your people's stories. Take time every single day to comment on 5 people's stories. And then you're having basically a text conversation with them, even if you don't have their number. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Slide 1 of 400. Just kidding. Oh, practice what you preach. Okay, everybody whip out your phones. We're going to put a story up right now. You are all going to be in my story. You ready? We're going to open my phone, whip out my video, switch it over to selfie mode. Hey guys, I am in a class right now. Say hi.
Hey guys, what's up?
We're doing Ignite. It's awesome. There you go. That's my story. Thanks. You guys were awesome. Super easy, right? It took me 2 seconds. You can all literally stand up right now. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. You can do that. You can take a picture. Everybody put a story up. Right then, behind the bullet. All you come sit here so that you can act like you're the instructor.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm teaching a class.
I'm teaching the class. It's awesome. I'm so good at what I do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a picture.
Yeah.
Wait.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Front of the class picture?
I'm gonna do one as well.
Okay, come on up.
Go for it. Sorry, I took your spot first. You're good. I apologize.
You got 15 more seconds. Be quick. Okay. You gotta rotate first, huh? Eli?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet. Anybody else?
Why not?
10 more seconds.
Welcome to my TED Talk, guys.
Nice. No. Yeah, go. You got 6 more seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, Inception first.
Okay, great.
All right, we're good? Okay. All right, guys, this is it. This is what you need to do. You just take moments, post it online. You gotta take more pictures in your life. Your life is way more interesting than you think it is. I mean, it's not to you, but it is to other people. People care about who you are. Those are the people that follow you on social media, and they want to talk about a few things. First of all, a lot of this is Josh. Kick me out again. Something is going on here. Oh, is someone out there trying to use it? I wonder if they are, that's probably what's going on.
I came in, it was dark out there, like the whole room was black.
Yeah, anyway, so let's stop. No, I don't want to stop share. So we're gonna go into my Facebook. I'll just give you examples of. This is my family. We're so cute. But 3 line limits. There's a picture of me shirtless. Talking about my workout goals for the year.
We cannot see.
You still can't see? Oh my gosh.
It's weird because you can see it on that. On Zoom. Oh.
Okay, telling I need a code.
Did you press training room or which one?
You know what? What if I just do this? What if I just HDMI it up?
Yeah.
You guys okay with that?
Sure.
I mean, that will make it a little bit. You know, we're gonna go old school here. So you guys will only have this screen. Go.
HTML.
I gotta change the input. Where's the remote?
Well, what did you, HTML one? Should be good now.
Whichever was on the other one. There we go. Yeah.
Will you back? Hold you up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Is that better?
I mean, oh, it's different from that, sorry.
Yeah.
Everybody can see? Okay, so like, here's some examples.
Go down to that one. Yeah.
So I talked about how I've always been too skinny. I used to have people that would break up with me because I was skinnier than them when I was dating people.
Me and you.
Yeah. So yeah, so you get it. So I just told people like I've got a goal to be bulkier. What are your like things? Like what should I know? Like what are best practices here? Anyway, you can see 3 line limit, right? Like, okay, I've got one that has 4 lines, but like break it up, make it so that it's easy to read. Here's another one from my dear wife. We blessed our little baby girl. And look how long it is. Like if she just broke that up, I mean, into 2 paragraphs, it would be so much easier to read, right? Like break up your posts into multiple paragraphs. Yeah, this is our new brokerage that we just built out there. We did Christmas giveaways. Anyway, we'll go through my Facebook a little bit more in a little bit. 3 line limit. Any questions on that? I'll get rid of this. There we go. Okay. Oh, wait, sorry. I'll go back. Nope. 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 What is going on? Okay. Limited amount of, okay, yeah. You guys know how to use emojis, right? You guys aren't like ancient. Just kidding. Sometimes I have people in this class that are like how do I create a Facebook profile picture? Or how do I create a Facebook profiler? You know, so that's why I have a limited amount of emojis, because some people. Okay, groups, become the go-to. In social media, there are groups. How many of you guys are all on Facebook, kind of ish? Right? Are you in groups? There's going to be a time in your life where you buy a house. How many of you own a house currently? Yes. Practice what you preach, man. And you're going to be in community pages. Some of you are already in community pages, even though you don't own a house. But like, it's like right now I'm in the Rockwell Ranch community and the Scenic Mountain community and things like that. This is Scenic Mountain. So join Facebook groups of where you live and be the person that knows all about real estate in those groups. So let me give you an example. Let's go to Scenic Mountain. This is where I used to live. And in our Scenic Mountain group, we would have HOA meetings. And so I took it upon myself to be the one that would remind everybody about HOA meetings and what they are and when they're happening, and just say, oh, hey, by the way, I took notes of the HOA meeting in case you missed it. Here's the list of HOA stuff, you know, like I became the go-to of what is happening in the community when it comes to real estate. This is what the timeline looks like. This is what's going on. Also, I posted in our community that our Facebook group does a dumpster. I mean, our Facebook team does a dumpster in each agent's community after the holidays, so that you can come dump stuff and, you know, just like be a part of your community. Groups are an awesome way to just build influence and to be the go-to person in your area. Any questions on that? I'm a big fan. Be present and interested. Let's go back. Not a salesman. So this is what this whole point is actually. So in Scenic Mountain, the same group, these are the posts that I'm doing, and there's one more agent that lives in that neighborhood. And guess what post she's doing? It's the classic, if you're looking to buy or sell, I'm an agent in the area, you know, and that's literally all she's posting. And she would say nothing else, no other interaction, you know. And I probably had 10 appointments that happened in this community in the 9 months I lived there. And she definitely had 0. She talked to me when I moved and she's like, hey, how's your real estate business going? Because mine has been, I mean, this is when the recession, like I moved like right when the recession was hitting to our new neighborhood. And anyway, so like everybody was hurting, is hurting even now, right? But anyway, it makes a difference. Don't be the pushy salesman, be the one involved with where you live. It makes a huge difference. Okay. Any questions on that? Facebook groups. They're actually kind of awesome. All right, clean up your Facebook page, your profile page. Guys, please have a clean profile page. By that, I mean, have a very good cover photo. What's the purpose of a cover photo? Yes, I like to use the cover photo as like, this is me. Profile picture is this is me. Cover photo is this is my life. Something about like, this is what I do. And then down here, you've got your intro. You should have an intro. And in the intro, you talk about 3 or 4 of your things, like what describes you. That's mine. Family, friends, faith, real estate, wealth advisor, disc golf addict. I am a huge disc golf fan. Anybody here? No? Yeah. We're going to talk.
I had a room.
We're going to be friends.
Obsessive.
Yes.
So I shoot a couple discs.
I'm that guy. I have like 30 discs now, and I've got a nice bag, fancy. Yeah. I've got a basket. I bought a basket, put it in my backyard. So I just bought a house on a 3rd acre, and so I have room to putt. Anyway, like that's part of my life. It's a big part of my life. My family is a huge part of my life. Probably 50% of my posts are about how cute my girls are and how awesome my wife is, right? Because that's a big part of my life. Also faith. I'm a big Jesus fan. So you'll see me post about Jesus all the time. Okay.
Question about that.
Yep.
With business, how much do you intermix? Because I know if it's your personal page, obviously you can put a little more Jesus and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I try keeping them separate, because then it's like, if you have certain clients that are about that, how do you justify that and find the balance?
Well, you just don't be pushy. Like, I think it's completely appropriate to post about Jesus and not be like, you're a sinner if you don't think how I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, you just have to give off the vibe of like, I am a good person and these are things I care about. Does that make sense? That seems fair. I mean, and also like, you're gonna offend somebody. There's no way not to do that. Like, we don't live in a non-offensive world. So just like be who you are and just be nice about it. And then you'll bring people who are like you. Does that make sense? That seem fair? Yeah. Or you could just like, for me, Jesus is a little bit less worrisome than like something super heavy political, unless you're like heavy Jesus. Like if you're like, you know, like there's a way to take anything too far, right? And I think politics is a very quick red flag because people are a little bit more polarized there. But you can't be polarized with anything. Anything that you post cannot be polarized. Does that make sense? So be not neutral. Be nice. That's a nicer way to say that. Be nice in how you post. Any questions? You're looking at me like you have a question.
I do have a question. So it may not look like it, but I'm super into guns. I've shooting all this.
Yeah.
A lot of my posts are of like me going out.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as you're not like, can you believe what this guy said about not having gun rights? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not that guy, you're totally fine. Like, post about your passions. Like, you're gonna offend some people because some people are completely anti-gun, and that's their problem, right? Like, but you don't have to like sugarcoat your posts to cater to every single person because it's impossible. You can't express who you are, and you have to be nice. That's the big thing. That seem fair? We're all playing in the sandbox together. Let's just be nice with each other. Okay. Okay, any other questions? You want to see a bad example? Let me show you a bad example. Is this horrible for me to do this?
No, but help us, because we'll make the same mistake.
Oh, that's a good.
Makes a good point, yeah.
No, here's the problem though. Like, this person is an agent. I should show someone who's not an agent.
Why they here?
They're an agent that used to be here.
Hey, we have a full confidentiality.
I'm being recorded. I'm trying to think if I can think of anybody who is not this person.
You want to do like messaging him?
Can you believe what Josh said?
Yeah, these do get put into use.
No, but he knows. Okay, I'll tell you a story. So I'll tell you a story instead of telling you who it is. That's better. Okay. There's an agent that used to be in this office, and this individual, for example, when COVID hit and we all had to wear masks in the office, he first of all wouldn't wear a mask, but then to make a point out of it, he wore a mask that was like literally a fishnet, and just would like stand as close as he could to you to just like make you feel uncomfortable. You know, like he's making a point to say like I hate this. Does that make sense? Like, he's just making everybody feel uncomfortable. And then when he posts on Facebook, it's like I can't believe that this person said this and the government is totally, you know, like, anyway, he's like a crazy person. You just like read his posts and you think he's a crazy person. Or he's like super opinionated. Ooh, that's it. That's it. Be very careful about how opinionated you are about things publicly. That makes sense? Be nice with your opinions. You're totally welcome to have opinions, just be nice about them. People aren't idiots because they don't share your opinion. That's a better way to say that. That seem fair? Okay, all right. Moving forward. That took way too much time. Economist of choice. So you should be the economist of choice. You're 20% of your business, of your posts, because you're doing the 80-20 rule. A lot of them should be about the economy. This is what's happening. I know what's happening. I know in 10 years, this is what Utah is projected to look like. This is what the population number is anticipated to be. This is how many homes we're short currently. If you want help with that, you should go to the UCAR ? Stats meeting that happens every year. There's like this big old meeting that happens. They bring down the governor's economist of choice. He comes down to Orem and they have a big meeting with all the realtors and they say, this is what's happening in Utah. You should go to that.
They like do it once a year.
They do it once a year. Yeah.
You know when?
And I take heavy notes and then I use that all year. This is what they said. Did you know that, you know, whatever. oh, I don't know when, I think it was in August. Is when I last went, it was like mid this last year. Also, family reunion is gonna dump info on you. So you guys should at least get an internet ticket to that, an online ticket, or no, they're not doing it online. That's hilarious. Also horrible. You're gonna see lots of posts from agents. Keep an eye on those if you're not going, because pretty much like a third of that family reunion is all about stats, national stats. This is what's happening in the nation. This is what real estate looks like. This is what your average buyer, this is the age that they are when they start buying. This is how the average amount of time they spend living in a home. Start learning stats, become an economist of real estate. Yes.
Just in case anybody's wondering or wanting to go, there's a super tiny airport in Provo, and it flies in and out of Anaheim. It's like $59. So if anyone's worried about cost, that's a great way to let them live there.
That's true. It's just Provo Airport.
Yeah, Provo Airport. Like,
It's the Legion plane.
yeah, there's like one gate that's.
Yeah. Yeah, did you know that they have huge plans for Provo Airport? That they're building all, like, these are things you should know. What are, in Utah County, what are the top 10 newest buildings? You know that they're building a Vineyard connector that goes all the way from Vineyard, goes through my backyard. I just found this out because it literally goes through my backyard and goes all the way to Redwood Road. Isn't that crazy? It's another freeway. It's a 6-lane freeway that they're building from Vineyard to Redwood Road to add more traffic. Like, you're the guy that knows these things. Okay. Yes. What was your question?
There's also an app that we can use for current members.
Yep.
And there's
Keeping
like-
current man is great.
It has a free login for us on the, our KW Pro wall or whatever.
Yep.
You can use someone else's login, but that has a lot of the like informal stats and like, they do a lot of articles for you. So you just, it was those.
Yep.
They have an Instagram page too. You can just share right your story. You look like an expert. just
Yeah.
share it.
Instagram. Yep. Yep.
What was the name again?
Keeping current matters.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, like, think about that name, right? Like, that name tells you all. It does matter. Keeping current matters. You need to know what's going on when people ask you. Otherwise, you're the noob, right? You're the noob that doesn't know what's going on, that knows how to write a contract, and that's about it. So be the economist of choice for your people. Now, let me rephrase this. You don't need to know everything, right? Like, you don't need to know every building that's coming up. You don't need to know every single city, but you need to start learning these things, okay? I've been in this industry for 4 years, so I have a lot of time on you, which is why I know a lot of this. And I've been in a lot of meetings that talk about these things. KW is really good at telling you this information, right? Come to team meetings, because Shoney's going to dump info on you, and a lot of it's going to be something like this. In fact, Hunter, are you on? We should add more what's going on in Utah County / Salt Lake County stuff to team meeting. We used to do that. Anyway, like when they built Facebook out in the boonies in Eagle Mountain, and now they just announced that they're doing another Facebook thing out there. And, you know, like, there's a lot of things going on. Utah is the place. Okay, we're still on here. Yeah, okay, I don't have to worry about. It's a quote from a person that has been passed around. Clean up your profile page, economist of choice, take time to comment. Oh yeah. You guys should be commenting on people's posts. And when people post on yours, like if you look through my thing, like I'm not like amazing at social media in the sense of like, I don't have 1 billion people following me. But when people start commenting, you need to be really good. Like this is a great example, right? There's me shirtless, but I have 58 comments on it because every single time someone comments, I'm immediately replying, right? Like every time anybody comments on it, you always reply to their comment because you want to, because that just builds up interest about that post. Does that make sense? You starting an OnlyFans now? Yeah. Yeah, like they're funny, right? Like lift heavy, but my laziness, right? Like people want to just interact with you. Yes.
So I noticed you do tap backs. Do you consider that applying, or you actually suggest writing out an actual reply?
Oh, I write back all of these.
Okay, because I normally just like love, heart, cool. love.
Absolutely not. No. Yeah, if you just do an emoji, response, that doesn't mean anything, right? Like, let me rephrase this. They probably won't make a difference in their life. You liked it, you know, they see that you see them. But in terms of Facebook wants you to comment. And Facebook will reward you for commenting. Does that make sense? They want engagement. They want you to be engaging with everybody that's engaging with you. So like if we go through this, let me find the one that's like really big about this. Look how cute my 2-year-old is. She's literally eating her sleeve. Let's see here. We had a baby and I posted about it. And that was one of the most commented posts. This one. 170 comments. And a lot of this is just me replying, but this started at like 50 comments, right? Or like 20 comments. But the more I replied to people, the more people saw this post and replied back to me and kept commenting. And then it was just like a machine that just kept going. Like, I don't usually get 300 likes or, you know, like I'm not like a crazy popular person. Like probably my average is 50, but this hit 300 because I just like kept going. It like hit 200, which is probably a norm for a baby post, but then it got another 100 because comments and comments and comments and replies to comments and people kept seeing it. Does that make sense? It's a thing. So comment. Also take time. Have you guys heard of the bold method, or I don't know what they call it, but like the A and W, B and C. What? Okay. I'm not going to teach you it, but somebody at some point is going to need to teach you about organizing your database into those things. A and W, like last name letters. You guys haven't learned this? No? Okay. You have? Okay. Well, it's an awesome concept. But you when you're calling your people, like you're going to be told to call a certain amount of people every day. Let's say it's 5 or something. You'll see on ours it's 2 to 6. When you're calling those people, you're finding those people as well on Facebook and you're commenting on their last post. Does that make sense? You're taking the time to get in front of people on social media. Okay. Mofer, make an offer for immediate response. This is like a call to action. Leave call to actions in your posts, right? Like, hey, if you know, I just bought a house, or I'm trying to think like these are especially for your business posts, right? I mean, like probably the most recent one I did is that we're having an open house for our new building that we just built down there. And so our offer was come by, we'll give you a Girl Scout cookie, a box of Girl Scout cookies if you come by and come see our office. So these are, so I did this like crazy hyper social media class thing. And this is a post that they put on that I just copied because I thought it was good, but these are examples of types of posts, right? You're problem solving something. It's a personal story. It's a methodology. This is how I do things. Intellectual insight, bandwagon. You're hopping on something that's already viral. Belief harmony, personal philosophy, transformation, right? That's like my shirtless post. Question, invitation, PR. Like these are examples of different types of posts that you can do. Okay. Feel good? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about ahas for social media. I don't know why there's not a post here. And then I'll show you this. Talk about ahas. What have you learned so far? What are you going to do? Yes.
Yeah, like you said, just do it more. Like I was getting my own head about posting in stories, especially, and like,
Yeah.
oh, it's not good enough content. I'll post it.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So just do it there.
Yeah. Well, so you need good content, but you're never going to learn how to do good content unless you practice. The only way to practice is to do it. Yes.
Yeah, I get overwhelmed with posting, so I overthink it,
Mhm.
but I really appreciate like, just the picture that we did today, and it's like, oh, it can't be that easy.
Yeah, it really is. It's just like, you just got to remember to take pictures. Honestly, like for me, that's the biggest thing. If I remember to take pictures, then I always have something to post. Yes.
The whole thing about social media is like not just real, and no one actually knows what you're doing. So like when I did my deal a couple months ago. Every showing that I went on, I videoed the home like it was mine and I gave credit, but just having the content of like luxury homes on my Instagram, I was like, oh my gosh, you're going crazy, like, no one knows what I'm really doing.
Yeah.
But you're putting out content and then they always think of you when it comes to
Yeah,
those.
yeah, yep. Yeah. Well, it has to be real, but it doesn't like, you don't have to say like, I'm poor. I'm just here because I'm covering somebody else's, like, this is how you start, right? Like you just gotta put it out there that this is what you do. This is who you are. This is what your daily looks like, right? Any other ahas? Yes.
I need to comment more and be more involved in the comedy rather than just art like cool.
Yeah, that's everybody's thing, right? Like we all just like posts, but you gotta comment. Anything else?
I do have a question.
Yeah.
How do you get more into social media when you're kind of despite it? Like, I think I kind of am in the boat where I'm like, I use it for my business, but if I didn't have a business, I would not be on it. And even my personal account, I'm like, life changes, that's really it. And to keep in touch with people who I know for a fact, I rarely see them and I don't have their phone number.
Mhm.
Other than that, I'm like, it's just this hot mess of depression, like just demoralizing yourself, all these negative things.
Yep,
So I think you gotta filter through a lot of bad
yep,
and a lot of negative
yeah,
to find the good. And even with me, like so I'm ranting, guys, I apologize. I like follow good, wholesome things like uplifting quotes,
Yep.
positive mentors, like, and obviously my friends.
yeah.
But even amongst that, it's like somehow I still.
You always
crappy.
find garbage.
I still feel crappy scrolling
Well,
and
social media is just a pit, right? Like that's just
Yeah.
like, this is kind of the nature of social media. But I will say like, none of you have to use social media. That makes sense. You can run a very competent business not using social media at all. So don't feel like you have to, right? Like that's not a thing.
it feels like it's our generation. Like,
Yeah, but also like, there are other ways, right? Send a postcard, call people, right? Like send a handwritten note, right? Like no one's doing that anymore, right? Like go old school instead and be that guy. That's more of a niche anyway, like everybody's doing social, right? Like is this, I'm teaching this because it's important, but it's also not like everything is important in real estate, right? Like there's a million ways to do this. Every single person that teaches these classes have their own way of doing things. But this is just one of them. You don't have to do this. That seem fair? Also, like, no, the majority of your business isn't going to come from this, right? This is not what gives you business. This is what helps you remind people of what you do. But really, it's like the direct conversation of you having and the personal relationships that you have with people. That's what's going to give you business, right? So there's a billion ways to foster that. Okay, let's move on. Social media advertising. So this is what how I'm going to do this. There's a group that you should all join. It's called managing, what is it called? Shift. Ugh, this is horrible. When we did that shift class, we made a group and I'm in it and I always forget what it's called. Does anybody else use Ryobi tools? Or is that just me? Yeah, they're freaking awesome.
Oh, wait, yeah, never mind. I was thinking it was like a real estate tool. I'm like, what? But yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Oh, the battery swaps. See?
Oh, yeah. Mastering the changing market. This is the group that you should join. And I am the admin of it, so you can just request and I'll throw you in there. I'm one of the admins. But this is the group that we made. How do I, oh, okay, it came up. That's funny. It's like, why is it not coming up? This is the group that we made for that shift class that I taught, which is where these slides came from. But in it, so you'll see like a lot of really awesome classes. Like these are high quality, like that's Brad Morgan. I remember like 2 years ago, I was sitting in team meeting and they announced that Brad Morgan made the most money in a month than anybody else that had this year or that year. Guess how much money it was? It was like 1.4 in 1 month. Yeah. Million. This is Brad Morgan.
$1.
Right? Like Brad doesn't do residential. Brad is currently building 80 condos and being the sales agent for those because he has enough money to front that project, right? Like these are different levels of people that are in this brokerage that you're working with. Anyway, so there's some really good classes on here. And for some reason they asked me to teach, and in my lesson, I did a walkthrough of how to do SOI ads. So that's where you find out how to do it. I'm not going to show you how to do it today because I don't want to take the time for that. What are we at? Oh, we need a break. Okay, after I'm done with this rant, then we'll take a break. Oh, do you guys not want to break? Okay. Well, we'll talk about it in a second.
Well, usually our band teachers like, we're hitting like 11:30 and they're like, okay, we're halfway done. And they're like, okay, like we'll just cram an extra 10 minutes. So usually we don't have enough time.
Oh, halfway done at 11:30.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
horrible. Okay, so walk through for your SOI. So go on here. That's where you can find it. Any questions on that? Okay, I'm going to leave then this page, and I'm going to show you what this looks like. So mortgage, oh, what am I doing? That's weird. Business.facebook.com. So there's two sides of Facebook. There's facebook.com and there's business.facebook.com. You should be running your ads from business.facebook.com, which is the business side of Facebook. It's a whole different conversation. But, and that video will teach you a little bit about that. In business.facebook.com, we are running SOI ads, and this is what they look like. Josh SOI, let's go to ads. This is what they look like. So this is literally only sending to my SOI. I gave Facebook a list of all the emails and phone numbers that I had of people that I know, and it ties those emails and phone numbers to their Facebook accounts or Instagram accounts and targets them on those two platforms. And this is the ad they see. So they're just scrolling through and they see, oh, curious about buying, selling, or building a home, I've got your back. And so my people see me, my phone number, they see that I'm a real estate agent, and they see it probably at least once a day. Guess how much money I spend on this ad?
$50.
$10.
50 bucks a year.
Oh. $100.
$600.
$1 a day.
365.
So 365 bucks a year if it hits every single person every single day, which it doesn't. So usually I spend like 180 bucks or 200, low 200s a year for that. Isn't that totally worth it? Does that seem like a really good use of your money? It's funny because I'll just like see people in Target or wherever. Really, it's been mostly at church, but we'll just say Target. So I see people in Target and they'll be like, hey, I saw your ad. I see you everywhere. Like I'm scrolling through stories and like you just pop up. It's really effective. And it just reminds people. It's literally just like, I'm just a click away. If you're curious about buying, selling, or building a home, I've got your back.
And you can make those to a location, right? Because a lot of my friends, like from California where I grew up, and so can you make it just Utah specific or?
Yeah, you can. I'm just thinking like, would you want to? Hear me out. 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 One of the most underused things in real estate is a referral fee. I've probably made this is actually probably true. I've probably made almost as much money doing real estate in Utah as I have doing real estate out of Utah, because I know a lot of people that live out of the state, even though I'm from here, and they will call me now because I've trained them and they'll say, hey, we're thinking of moving. Can you just get us in touch with a realtor, like a good realtor that you know? And yeah, of course I can get you in touch with a good realtor. All I have to do is go in command and look up in the referral section and bam, I can get you set up.
Yeah.
And I can make 25% off of every single person. Half of my siblings live out of state. They all know to call me first, you know, like maybe that's something you should dive into.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably run a different ad for them that just says like, I don't know what that would look like, but that's an aspect of your license that most people don't utilize that I think is underused. Okay. Yeah. Should we do this or should we take a break? Who wants a break? No one will judge you for wanting a break. Let me be clear. And if they are, they're out. I'll kick them out.
We're good. We got 45 minutes left. So.
You think you have 45 minutes left? Joke's on you, friend. We got at least 3 hours. Just kidding.
See you later.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay, yeah, we're almost done. I think we're on slide 15. I think there's like 20 slides or something, or like 25 slides. No, there's probably 20. Okay, so this is how our team breaks this down, just so you know. I thought I'd show it to you. So every single day, this is what our team is responsible for focusing on, okay? What's the clicker? Yeah.
Over there.
It was over there. I think it was fine. I was pointing my finger like a caveman. So like birthdays, for example, right? Every single day you're logging into Facebook or whatever database you have that has birthdays on it, and you're seeing whose birthday it is and you're reaching out to them. It's just something you do in the morning, right? 2 to 6 calls, you're calling your people, according to the bold method, 2 handwritten notes every single day. You're writing 2 handwritten notes, probably to those people who had a birthday. It's like, hey, it's your birthday today. Sorry, this is gonna arrive after your birthday, but I think you're awesome. Here's a $5 Fizz card, or here's nothing. I'm too cheap. Please send me money by referrals, you know. 2 top 50 activities / contacts. So on our team, we divide our SOI by SOI and top 50. Top 50 are people that give us referrals or are really, really, really good friends that see us as their agent. And we are doing 2 things with those top 50 people every single day in some capacity. It's an activity, or I'm gonna, like, one of the people I call is in my top 50, some capacity, 2 of them. Post on Facebook and Instagram, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, again, 3 times a week. There's our minimum. So on our team, it's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Okay? 5 comments a day to SOI with letter of the week. So let's say, here, I'll just teach you this really quick. There are 26 letters in the alphabet, right? Divided by 2 is 13. How many weeks are there in a year? How many? So, okay, well, I'm just not asked questions. So there's 52 weeks in a year, which divided by 4, if you want to call quarterly, is 13. Well, look at that. That number's the same. So you can divide your SOI into 2 letters of the alphabet each week and call them every quarter. Does that make sense? How that math works?
Wait, so you do each week,
Each week you call 2 letters of the alphabet.
okay,
Yep. And now Keller Williams have come up with this awesome method of like they divided all the letters of the alphabet into like they look at censuses and stuff, and they realize there's blank percentage, there's like blank percentage of most people oh my gosh, this is so confusing how I'm saying it.
Percentage of people have last names C or B.
Yeah, so it's like 10% of people have the last name A and W that you know, on average. Does that make sense? And they tried to make it so it was even. So you're not calling like 20% of people that you know in 1 week, but they tried to even it out. So it's averaging about between 8 and 10 for every week. So Keller Williams has already done this for you. It's called the bold method. Well, that's what I call it. It's really called like some stupid name, like Keller Williams loves acronyms. So it's like C2XQ or something. I don't know.
I think it's called like the D2D2.
D2, that is what it's called. Yeah, so the first one is A and W. And so, for example, when you're back here, so if you're calling A and W's that week, each day you're calling 2 to 6 people, you're also going on Facebook and commenting on your A's and W's who are your friends on Facebook, 5 comments with those same people. So just every week you're rotating who you're calling and who you're commenting with on Facebook, and you're just looking for people that you don't usually interact with. That make sense? Anyway, and then a consistent story on social media. And then weekly, 5 Popeyes. Popeyes are like amazing. Live video with story. Update Chime contacts. So this is our CRM. We use Chime because Command's terrible for Teams. But awesome for you. So let's be clear about that. I say that like I sounded sarcastic, but I'm really not. Like, you have Command and it is free and it's fantastic. The fact that you have Command for free is amazing, as long as you're a sole agent. If you join a team, no team in the right mind uses Command. I know that the new agent team kind of uses Command, but that's because you guys are all kind of separate anyway. Anyway. Where was I? Update chat app. So they go in every week and they update all their contacts, like pretty much like as you're doing this, you're updating people in China. And then add 2 to 5 new people in China per week with all contact information. Yeah, this is kind of the same thing. Except for you're adding new people. Anyway, that's how we do it every week and every day. And pretty much if you do these things, you're gonna be extremely successful. This is what you're like, you walk in the morning and you know you're supposed to do 2 to 3 hours of lead gen. That's what you'll hear here, which is a lot. Like, as long as you're doing this, fine. Do that, go home. You're done for the day, unless you have showings or whatever. Anyway. Hopefully that's helpful for you. Yes, question?
Sorry if I missed you saying this or not, but I think you put Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Do you have, is that specific, do you know days and times that are more engagement, better less engagement?
I don't, and like, I was talking about this in the beginning, but like, everybody has a different opinion on what best engagement times are. No, it's okay. Like, there are. I have probably seen, because I am a communications major, right? Like, I have probably seen 40 studies of this is the best time to post on Instagram. And every single one of them is different in some capacity. Some say it's 10, some say it's 10:30, some say it's 10, like,
That's what
you know, like, I don't know.
Safe bet is usually for content creators, they recommend in the AM, because the first thing people do when you get up.
As look at, yeah. Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Like honestly, I think the best time to post is whenever you will. Right? Like, one of my favorite things to say is like, the best way to do real estate is whatever you will do. You know, like, be consistent. That's the best way to do it, is to be consistent. So, but probably in the AM, like, I like to send emails at like 3, because people are kind of wrapping up work and they start looking more at personal stuff, you know. But anyway, it's just, everybody has a different opinion. Yes.
You can schedule content too if you have pre-made in the Facebook
Yeah.
business section.
Yeah.
So you can do like a whole week of social media posting if you've got it all made.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is like, if you are doing this every day, like, that's a pretty easy thing to just prep yourself for and just start thinking through. You can literally just Google social media ideas and get like a list of 100 things that you could do. Yes.
I can't remember the website's called. One of my last businesses, I used Facebook Marketplace or the business Facebook, whatever it's called. There's a website out there that tells you all the best hashtags to use for certain industries or what's trending right now. And it's, I can't remember the website of it, but if you just type in, you know, like if you're in the real estate business, you type that in as, hey, use this hashtag.
Yeah.
And it tells you like which are getting the most views
Yep.
in a certain industry.
Yep. Yeah, I love that. Yep. Okay. Ahas. I guess we kind of just did that. Any others? So every time I go through a section, like 4 people learn something. That's what I'm taking away from this. I'm just kind of. Okay, so we're almost done. We're gonna talk about your website. Everything goes back to your website and therefore back to your CRM. That's best practice. So when you're posting, when you're putting stuff out there, if you have links, try, if you can, to make those links go back to your website in some capacity. But you all should have a website, because you all have access to command, so at least you'd have that website. So Hunter, that was weird, I almost said Shoni. Hunter can teach you how to make like a get my home valuation page on your website. You can send people there, or just even a landing page. Even if it's just a landing page, like your ads, they lead back to your website. Whatever it is, they lead back to your CRM, which is connected to your website. Any questions on that? Okay. Why? Why is that important? Yes, but they can get your contact info in all kinds of places.
If you don't have social media out there, just go old school and make a website or something.
Yeah.
Is it just a more qualified lead because they're going directly to you and your?
It could be, depending on how well your website is
You
set
can
up.
track- You should be able to track where people are looking and what they're clicking on.
Yeah.
So you can reach out to those people.
Yeah, in my mind, like the biggest reason is because you want to control what they see. And if they're on your website, then chances are they're going to keep looking around. Does that make sense? So your website not only has a home valuation page, like let me go to my website. Let me give you an example. So if someone goes to petermerkel.com, right? And they go to a home valuation, if we send out an email with a home valuation page for them to do a home valuation, right? They come, they get their home valuation, they get the amount that their home is worth, but then they can be like, oh, wait, you know what? I'm wondering if I go to buy, like, what's on the market right now, right? Let's go to all listing, and then they can immediately start searching, right? And they don't go to Zillow or wherever, right? Like, they're already on your website. The chances of them looking into more things like blogs and stuff and to think about you more is much more likely. Does that make sense? You want to control where they spend their time when it comes to real estate things as much as you can, which is not infinite, but also you have the apps. You can do the same concept with the app, send people to your app. Any other questions about this?
What's that tied to? Which,
This is Chime. It's called Chime. It's a CRM. Command has a really hard time integrating large teams. And so by that, I mean, like, it's hard to like manage databases and send emails as a team and all this stuff in Command as it's built now, because everybody wants to do it differently. So like, you'll notice if you start interacting with teams more, every team has a different CRM. They're all using, and some of them have the same, like us and Brett Wild, we both use Chime, right? Red Sign team uses Brivio, right? Like everybody has a different way that they do things. Because their team is structured a certain way, and so they have to use a CRM that works best for that. So anyway. One day, hopefully, Command will be able to cater to more team stuff, but I think they actually left that train because they realized how hard it was. They're like, because like everybody has a different opinion on what Command should look like. As long as they have the basics for your average solo agent, then they cover the majority of people anyway. Okay. Yeah, where were we? Your website, that's important. So yeah, CRMs, Command, use Command. Are your smart plans smart? Use smart plans in your Command as your follow-up for everything. When leads come in, when people are interacting with your website, you are following up. Does everybody know what these are? 8x8, 12 touch?
Yeah.
36 touch. I mean, 12 direct, 36 touch. No. Okay, perfect. I got one no. All I need is one. Where's an eraser? Take off your shirt really quick. I'm just kidding. I should have waited a little bit longer to see how you would react to that. All right, 12 directs. Oh, I'm doing this in the wrong order. Oh, I'll put it up here. 8x8, and then a 36 touch. Oh my gosh, my handwriting is horrible. In my defense, I'm left-handed.
Let me get
So,
it's terrible.
it's horrible.
It's terrible for like.
Oh, I spelled direct wrong too. That's hilarious. Okay. 8x8. So when someone first enters your CRM that you do not know, they get hit by an 8x8. And it's basically like, I want to get in touch with you in the next 8 weeks by reaching out to you 8 times. That's what an 8x8 is. Okay. So it's 8 weeks, 8 times. It's not calling them for 8 weeks straight. It's different things. You call them and then you leave an email and you send them a text, and it's just like a variation of different things. There's a billion different types of 8x8s that exist. But so this is for new leads. Once they get into your database, they get directly put on a 12 direct, which can be like a mailer campaign or it could be whatever. And for the next year, so once a month, they're hearing from you in some capacity of like, I am a real estate agent. I want to be your person, you know, anyway. So this is 1 year, and then a 36 touches the rest of the time. So this kind of, the purpose of this is to get a hold of them. The purpose of this is to make them your SOI. Then they become your SOI, and once they're your SOI, they're in your 36 touch, which hopefully most of you or all of you know what a 36 touch is, which is where you reach out to them 36 times a year-ish. I mean, really, it should be like in the 50s, but like you're reaching out to them multiple times a month in some capacity. You commented on their Facebook page, you gave them a call, you texted them, you sent them an email, you're doing something to get in front of them. They saw your Facebook ad, right? So a 36 touch is a minimum of 3 times per month that they're hearing from you in some capacity. You have an event, you invited them to the event, you saw them at the event, you asked them how the event went after. There's your 3 touches for that, right? For example. Any questions on these? You're gonna hear a lot about this, so don't stress this. In fact, I think Cameron's teaching your next class, who is the director of ops for Red Sign, which is the biggest team in the valley. He's teaching your next class, and it's called Grow Your Database, and I think it's going to cover a lot of this. So he's pretty awesome. Oh, and then I think this is the last one. I think we're there. Are you Googleable? I love that word. Googleable. Can people look you up as a real estate agent, see ratings about you, and visit your website? If not, maybe you should look into that. If you Google the words, Google my business. Those are the words that you Google. That will help you create a Google My Business profile or a My Business profile. I don't know what it's called. I think it's a Google My Business profile. And be able to put like the fact that this is your location. This is where you work. This is the office that you work. You can put your website on there. You can do all these things. They'll send you a mailer to make sure that you actually do work there. You know, they'll do a bunch of things to verify. But yeah, you should be Googleable so that people can review you. Get reviews, guys. This is an old one. We have more than 14 now because that's really bad. But like, 4.9 stars out of 14 Google reviews. That feels like a small thing, but a good one. And maybe start with like your best friend and your parents and your in-laws or something, just to leave you a couple Google reviews just so that you can get something besides having nothing when you ask your first client. And you can even do it for like showings, like, hey, I showed you some homes today. I know that you decided not to sell, but will you leave me a review based on the showings that you had, or something like that while you're getting started, right? Just start thinking about that. Start thinking about, because if you're playing the long game, you're going to want this built out 3 years from now. You don't want to start it in 3 years, right? Yeah, I think this might even be, no, this is the QR code for this group. That's what that is. Anyway, ahas. Let's talk about ahas for the class. What are you going to do? Everybody has to say one thing that they're going to do leaving this class. We'll start here. Go.
I need a postmark. Someone back there was saying how they hated or they never posted. I just looked at mine past. I've always hated social media, but I created a new one when I got into real estate. And I've only posted 9 times in the past 2.5 years.
Ooh. Ouch.
I hate posting pictures of myself. I hate videoing myself. I hate.
Why? Have you seen you?
I just never been something like that in my entire life. But this business requires it. My other businesses I do all require it, and so it's been something I'm working on. But now that I'm really focusing on real estate first, I'm going to commit to doing. Like when you asked earlier, like how many posts should we be doing per day? I was going to set, or how many posts should we be doing? I said weekly, and the answer was daily. So it's.
Yeah, well, so post more means nothing though. Like, how much are you going to post? What's your takeaway? I'm going to do this.
First of all,
starting
I
today.
gotta do my post for I joined Red Side team, all that kind of stuff, and I'm going to start out posting weekly. But I do stories maybe 3 times a week.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so weekly.
Yeah.
That's your goal. Okay.
First of all, I'm with you, Cam, you got this.
Yes.
You got this. I'm the same though. I hate social media. I think it's a waste of time. I thought it was. And I got into the.
Well, it is. I mean, like.
Yeah. So my goal is to become Google. So I have never thought about that.
Okay,
I have no Google ability right now.
nice. Okay.
actually, Greg, can you go back to it? Yes, social media is a waste of time if you're using it the wrong way. There's millions of people who use social media and they make thousands of dollars, millions of dollars from social media.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Well, a waste of time is also like totally relative to like.
yeah, it's what's time you're sitting there scrolling. But if you're trying to come up with something new, something creative, like any of us can go in there and find something that someone else is not doing with TikTok or stories or reels with real estate. Make something like, and I'm not clever enough to do this yet, but like if you do something clever and funny, and if that's getting people to your page and driving people to your website, getting clients, building your CRM.
Well, I would honestly not start out with that mindset though, because that's a really quick way to get overwhelmed. because the chance of that happening is pretty low, right? Start out with a mindset of like, I'm just gonna be consistent. Like, that's my main goal. I loved your goal of once a week, right? Like that's a possibility, but like, how many times does that actually happen? And like, for example, Becca Summers, if you guys know who that is, she had a Facebook page and she posted about like this like crazy $40 million house and it went viral. She got like 40,000 views or something, and then like 10,000 people liked her Facebook page and all this stuff, and it went viral and it was awesome for a month. But now she feels like she has to keep up with it and she hasn't seen like anything come from it. So that makes sense. It's really hard to just like start making money right off the back on social media. The goal of this class is not to teach you how to make money off of that, but more of like how to be a constant presence on it. Does that make sense?
So she didn't get any leads from all that?
Oh, I'm sure she got leads. I mean, like she's really big on TikTok too. I think she does like 5 deals a year for social media, something like that. Becca Summers. She's down in the Mapleton office now. She's one of the owners. Like, they bought this $1.8 million building and they split it 5 ways, and she was one of them that they invited to join this group. Brad was the one who led it, and they invited her because she's just been killing it, and she is a team. Yeah, well, she is a team. I mean, her and her husband are kind of a team. Well, like, so there's a difference between groups and teams. Groups are like big guys, like Red Sign team, Peter Morkel, right? Brett Wild, right? And then there's teams, which are like the little guys, like the Lane Thompsons of the world and the Becca Summers of the world, who are like 3 or less people that like are technically a team, but also it's Becca and her husband, right? Like, can you consider that a team? Like, yeah, they're a team because they're working together, but also they're married. So anyway. Yeah, go, your turn.
Takeaway, I mean, the real general idea of this whole thing is to actually on social media, be the real estate guy. One thing that was an aha for me, like I said, open, that's what she said, is like, we may not be having all these deals and everything, but showing a house or something.
Yep.
I can definitely change that. People can be like, oh, this guy is a real estate.
Yep.
he's a real estate guy.
Yep, you're the real estate guy. Yep. When I go to family reunions now, that's how they refer to me as.
The real estate guy.
Yeah, he's like, oh, Josh, how's my favorite real estate agent, or whatever, right? Like, and I'm like, yes, that's who I am. That's who I want you to associate me as. Anyway.
I guess I just have the same goals, Cam, just like, just post once a week.
Once a week.
Doing it, because I used to post like once every 3 years.
So that's a big change. That's a big change.
Yeah, so just post more and get stories up going.
Yeah, I mean, even if you just start with stories, because stories you don't even have to write content for, right? Like, you can just put a story up that's just a picture, or you can put text on there that says like, check this out or something, but like, you can make it really simple. Simplify your life. Let's go here. Julie, question mark? Nope, what's your name? Nope. Yes. Ellie. Ella. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed. Ella, what's your goal?
I guess this was weird, and I want to do more direct messaging because I was trying that before the winter break, and it's really working out for me. And I think it was because I was like being the real estate agent and like pushing it on them. But I like the idea of starting to comment on stories.
Yes.
And like being interested.
Yeah, guys, what happens? Have you guys heard of the Ford method yet?
Yeah.
You guys have talked about the Ford method,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's that concept, right? You start talking about their family, you start talking about their occupation, and then guess what? They talk about your occupation. What are you doing these days? So just lead it into what are they interested in? What are they thinking about? And then eventually, usually it leads back to you. And sometimes it won't, and that's fine, right? Anyway. Yes.
I'm working on commenting more genuinely and being more engaged with people I know, because it's like I have been posting and I've been pretty consistent in realtor,
Nice.
but it's like I am not interacting with anyone beyond who interacts with me. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a little more friendly.
Yep. Love it. Let's go back here.
Great.
Oh, yes.
Go on with that. If you're commenting, the same way, I never really comment on people's posts, but people are gonna look at you the same way as we're looking at them. If you're commenting on people's posts, they're gonna start commenting.
Yes, absolutely. Yep, 100%.
I haven't had social media for a second, so I need to get back on all of it.
I wouldn't get back on all of it. I'd pick something.
Yeah, that's the thing is, yeah, I just need to be more mindful kind of on it, I think,
Mhm.
to make sure I'm doing good things instead of losing in the scroll. But I also, my goal is to become Google.
I love that. Yeah, great, perfect, awesome.
Were you saying that it was already set up as you have access to command or something?
Yeah.
There's,
Yeah, talk to Hunter. Yeah, they'll have a website for you. It's like a 6 out of 10, I would say.
Sure.
Like, it's not like spectacular, but it's completely functional for everything that you need. Like, you can search for homes on it and all that stuff.
It's more like a listing service.
It's more like a listing service.
Yeah, it's a KW listing service, and then they'll have like your.
It's just like.
But there's no like, so. Jordan, like, this is me, make sure you can.
Yeah,
It's a-
you can change it and you can add more pictures of you and make it a little bit more customizable, but I mean, like, for the purpose of the majority of what you'll do to start, it's like probably an 8,
Right.
you know, because a lot of what you're gonna do is have people search for homes on your site.
Right.
So, in the back.
Probably just converting the social media, I know. Because having a following is great, but also just switching it over to real estate.
Yes. How big of a following do you have? Okay, nice,
And most videos like 2.2,
okay.
converting all of that from more.
From being likes and views to actual
more
engage.
to, like, subjective, like. I'm the product, like I'm the person.
Uh-huh.
choosing the copy and then-
Yeah. Well, one tricky thing with TikTok is that because it's so public, it's hard to regionalize leads, you know what I'm saying? So one thing you could use is start using it as like, you're a person who knows about real estate, but also you're a person who knows if anybody that's of your follower needs a real estate agent, you can just DM you directly and then you can get them in touch with one of the best real estate agents in the area. You just go a referral route with your TikTok, right?
So I first started with that because I came from California.
Yeah.
I did all my stuff and I had a test schedule. And I did move very sudden.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. Oh, nice. Nice.
You work at.
Yeah.
I just saw that.
Do you like working at Vivint? The worst experience that you're just gonna. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. Okay, right here.
Usually professional with my posts and like using a theme or something each week and like. Building around that and professional. And can think about it, it's not so like long, why, and like track your content, whereas. Like this week, let's do a luxury home. Showing, or let's do like, let's talk about rentals and pros and cons and like educating or. Like, yeah, just plan for in advance.
Yep. Yep, I think that's great.
I
Yes.
just goal. I just thought about this. I wanted, and kind of in the same thought, I wanted to take more videos of myself. 'Cause I do a lot of pictures. Do a lot of pictures, and it's like picture, it's kind of boring.
Yeah,
But I think I was thinking about your story you did earlier,
yeah.
and like the talking and like the face and like the,
It's a little bit more
it's
interactive,
definitely and
more engaging,
Yeah. So I
and they
think
see a little bit more of you rather than just like a picture of you.
I
Yep,
share experience.
yep.
So I've been in real estate a year. My social media just started out with just market update, picture, this and this.
Mhm.
And it's now shifted to where I'm doing videos of me saying tip for this, tip for that. I've actually had more interactions when I've like displayed it in better ways.
Yeah,
Because you can just, it's easy. And I even had a conversation with Shoni one time. He said, it's like, you want to be the expert. Experts don't just post things and leave it for interpretation. They explain it.
yeah,
Or they break it down. And even if it's a small breakdown, it's like, now they know you know something they don't.
Yep.
And now they come to you more. So
Yep.
I felt that in the way I've gotten better. So I
Yeah.
recommend right out of the gate, if you're gonna say anything about markets, anything about houses, explain it as if someone has no idea about real estate whatsoever.
yep. Yep. And you said it best when you were talking about the, how not everybody can just come in and do this. Or let's see, how did you phrase it? when we first started the class.
They don't teach you how to write contracts in high school.
Yeah, they don't teach you how to write contracts in high school. But at some point they might, right? Or like being a real estate agent, like kind of like how showing houses has just become like an easy thing to do. Like you can just go on Zillow and like see houses now, right? Parts of our job will become more public and easier to do, but you have to be able to know the things that other people don't know if you want to be the best at this, right?
Normal people don't have that themselves. So
Yeah.
Like 3 times as much work to be able
To get easy info.
that we have on hand.
Yep. Yep. My old lender was Travis, who used to sit right over there. He actually moved to Lehigh. Anyway, I would walk into his office all the time. It's like, hey, what's the rates today? Like, what are we looking at? You know, what do you think will happen in the next week? Just like, I have to know these things. I can't ever have somebody ask me what the rates are and not know. Like that is worst case scenario, right? Anyway, on that note, what are the rates today?
6.9.
There's not like a right answer here, just so you know, like you won't say 6.9. Like if you say 4, that's the wrong answer, right? Like, but if you say 6.9 and it's 6.5, you're fine, right? Like you just need to know the ballpark area, right? You need to know when rates shift from 6 to 7 or from 7 to 8 or whatever. Something that we do is we go to rocketmortgage.com because Rocket Mortgage is like worst case scenario when it comes to rates. And then we just go into rates, and this is what we tell people,
It can be 12.
right? Like we're looking at high 6s right now on average, is what I would say. Probably. Yeah. I mean, like, and the funny thing is that like this is actually better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be low 7s. So, but yeah, usually Rocket, like what I've been told is that you pick a place to look up rates and you stick with that one place. And that will give you an idea of how things are flexing rather than like going to a bunch of different sites. You like, so we picked Rocket Mortgage, right? And we just stay with Rocket Mortgage. And then we know like, oh, rates went up 0.5%. So now we're in the blank range, right? We're between 6 and low 7s, depending on how much you put down. So, yes.
So this is off topic. So when you said the age when you're rolling, 20% of your posts are about real estate. What do you post? Do you have any examples you can show?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you do like videos of yourself? Do you do pictures? What do you talk about?
So, this was the one I just did. First team meeting at the new office, ready to dominate new year in real estate space. Let me know how I can reach your goals and answer those ominous questions, right? This is your classic real estate post, right? But it had been a while since I'd posted anything like this. So that's one of the last ones I did. Let's see here. Look at all these pictures people are started sending me. Check out what I did. Yeah, dang. Looking so good. So awesome to be part of this. So yeah, so I've posted a lot about the brokerage that we just built recently too. There's disc golf. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. We played in the rain. It was awesome. Had my family over for Christmas. That's my uncle. He's pretty amazing. There's another post about the new brokerage, so close to being done.
So yours are very social. Yours are like new brokerage, team meeting, like
yeah.
Social.
Top golf today with the Peter Mork Real Estate Group with fire. I may be the greatest virtual pig killer with a golf ball ever. Have you guys ever played that at Top Golf? Yeah. I'm pretty amazing at it. These are giveaways that we did, like, you know. I shared Becca's, because this is Becca. She's the one that does all that TikTok stuff, you know. And she shared this. And she's just really good at it. We came, we ate, we conquered, Luminaria, baby. This is me talking about you're the average of the 5 people you're around the most. And so this is a little bit. And I talked about like Peter and Taylor, who are real estate agents. Anyway, this is a post about like, this is what's coming to Provo. And the next, did you guys know that we're building a medical school in Provo? Yep. 100-acre regional sports complex in Provo. These are big deal stuff, guys. I am so glad I own rental properties in Provo because that place is going to blow up. That is going to be such a big deal. Here's like the most recent reel I did, actually these two reels. I just thought this video was so cute. Can we just watch this for a second? And then we can be done. This is my 2-year-old trying to keep up. She doesn't know I'm behind her. She's trying to keep up with her sisters and my wife, and she's just like, just tired, but going on this hike. I just thought it was just the cutest thing, just navigating in her little legs. Anyway, isn't she so cute? Everybody say, wow, she's so cute. Oh, thank you. That's all I wanted. Thank you. Jeez. It took so much effort. Disc golf tournament.
You guys win?
We got 6th place.
Do you guys like ranked or anything? You guys have, is there rankings for disc golf?
What do we get? We got 5th place.
How many teams are?
5th place of 20. We did doubles tournament. So, you know, we did okay. It actually was really, I was actually really happy that we got 5th. Because, yeah, I played well that day. So it was good. And this is our groundbreaking of the Lehigh building. You know, like, this is what's going on in my life, right? Like, I'm here at this building. We're doing some groundbreakings. These are my clients that closed. Look, they even tagged me in it. We literally legitimately thought was impossible, you know? Anyway, there you go. Some ideas. Any other questions? Last chance. Pick my brain. You'll never see me again. Just kidding.
I have a question about Rocket Mortgage, but it's more like, you set that up. If you click it-
Oh, I don't set it up. I just Google it every time. I just type in Rocket Mortgage.
I try to do it, it's like asking you my home buying process, whatnot.
You typed in rocketmortgage.com. And then it takes you here. And then you go to rates.
And then I clicked on a weird sub link, but I'm still at Rocket.
Oh,
Mortgage.
that's
Yeah,
why.
I-
This is refinance. Yep, we're closer to 7. I knew we were close to 7. Okay. If you ever need to find me, you are always welcome to find me. I am like an open book. Come find me. I am here on Mondays and Tuesdays, except for when I teach Ignite, which I now teach this class every month. And I will be upstairs in one of the cubicles over by this back right corner. Come find me. Let's have a chat. You want some help with Facebook ads? You want some help just like, hey, what do you think about this? Let's bounce ideas off each other. I am an open book. Come find me. Okay, seem fair?
Monday and Wednesday.
No, Monday and Tuesday. Yeah,
Wednesday for every week.
yeah. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I am in Mapleton. So you can also go down to Mapleton and find me there. So, okay. Anything else you need from me, Hunter?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Wait, before you guys pick up, I just have some quick questions. Well, first off,